Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Round 9 fan cams. Sorry I'm late. Welcome to the fan cams. After the Dogs beat us 11 goals, 13-79 to 8 goals, 11-59 in yet again another painful watch, another painful experience. After the cycle we just went through last week, I don't know where this is going to go. I really don't. But we're going to do it anyway, because that's what we do. It's a very frustrating time and a very emotional time. So we'll be mindful of that. But also, this is where we come to decompress. So for those who are new to the fan cams, welcome. For those who are returning, welcome to this week's installment of therapy. Let's begin.
Oh, mate. Glad to see you, though. Always cheer me up. That, you know what? I'm 37 years old, right? The final siren went, and I don't think I've missed my nana and wanted a hug from her for probably 20 years. And she died when I was 16. And you know what? I think the only thing I want in the world is a cuddle from her and just tell me it's going to be okay. I've never wanted that anymore, and that is absolutely fucking pathetic at 37. What can you say? Man, I've never... You know, genuinely, coming from Scottish football, there's a lot of teams that get a lot of shit like Carlton, and they're always a bit of a dangerous team to play. And Carlton, I don't think any side has ever been lambasted in the press like we have. And 70 minutes of football for a goal. And I don't think I've seen Carlton play that badly in that first half. I really haven't. I couldn't actually believe what I was watching. Like, it was hard to believe. Do you know what I mean? It was hard to believe. Do you know what I mean? That they'd come out with that intensity, especially with the fighting words at the start of the day from Luke Sayers. Get behind us. We're going to fucking fight back. That was... Terry, what the fuck is going on?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I thought I was lost. I thought I was lost last week.
Like somehow the kicking got worse. Like, I didn't think it was possible. Like honestly, Terry, it was. And you got to ask yourself at some point, there has to be a breaking point, because as harsh as it sounds, that third quarter was the biggest fugazi of them all, wasn't it? Like, shelve the slow movement, shelve the retention, go fast, go quick, get back into the game. And then, fuck me, didn't they deliver what they've delivered all season? It got a little bit tough, a few mistakes started, and then bang, somehow 20 points. And Terry, we're talking 2018 shit.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? 2018 shit, rudimentary basics, and it was all right when it was 2018. There were first-year players, and they were just held together with sticky tape. Like, that is, fuck me, something else. I don't even know where to begin with that.
I know. It's so difficult. We all want to have something to latch onto, and very easily we try and define what the end of the year will look like until this point. But we've got to get back into this moment right now. Like, whatever they're doing right now, it's not working, right? Or is it Is that just a panic statement? And do they still just need to keep chipping away at it? Like, I don't even know which way to think anymore. It feels like every thought I try and latch onto is just debunked, just like that. It's the most intriguing set of circumstances.
Oh, mate. I mean, like, fuck, like 12 minutes to go, 12 minutes gone in the first quarter. There is a real, like, obvious Carlton moment. And you see it happen time and time again. That there was a nice little bit of build up out of D50. Sard hits Wheatering. And Wheatering looks up. And you've got Holland's on Tim English half forward, but there's a straight up kick to Doc about 20 meters with no one around him. Totally ignores him, and he goes long. The ball comes down, and they go on and score. And that's basics. Like, just take Voss out of the equation a minute. Do you know what I mean? Take Voss out of the equation. Go back and watch the AFL under 18s today. Different game plan to Carlton, but you know what? They would hit the obvious targets. We're in like some kind of another realm. Like, I don't know who you can bring in. I don't know how you can fix that. Like, if this is the plan, slow build up, you've got to be hitting them short targets, but they, instead of being short like St Kilda are, they go long, and then what happens is you've got Hollands and Crip and Kerno and Harry are still caught in transition because we use them down the wings. So then you kick in.
You there? Well, isn't this a sign of things? Pommy's internet's broken. Pommy, are you with me? All right. It's going to be one of those nights. Pommy will get you back.
Pommy's frozen stiff. He's done a Walt Disney on us. Oh, dearie me. Poor Pom. Poor Pom.
We'll get him back. How are you, Pablo?
We'll get it. Yeah, pretty flat. What else can be said? Tactically, again, backwards. Yeah, I don't know. At this stage, you just feel like they're taking the piss. So I guess we'll just take the piss for another night. Yeah, I don't know. I thought during the week, let's try and be a little bit upbeat, get around them, don't judge it all 8 weeks in and blah, blah, blah. But again, to have 2 home games in a row where your fans have rocked up in droves and to not kick or to kick only a goal in 70-minute patches of football. Yeah, I think it pretty much just sums up where we're at. Just a middle of the road, bang average team at the minute who will be in these type of games and be kind of hardish to break down for moments, but then just probably not good enough, I'd say. So, yeah, don't know. I thought the last 8 minutes were pretty damning as well on our midfield group. 3 clearances, 3 goals conceded, and I don't know. It's funny, as soon as they shelve the game plan and have to play manic football, they actually look pretty good. But yeah, I don't think it's working. It's clearly not working. What's happening? And, yeah, I don't know. I genuinely don't. I don't know. I don't know where the problems start because there's so many of them at the moment. So I'm the reason I don't really have an answer for it is because I'm just overwhelmed with it all at the minute. So whether it's CEO, whether it's board, whether it's players, whether it's coaches, it's just all just information overload at the moment. So
I'm curious, how much more external heat can they bring on themselves before a circuit breaker?
Yeah, I think, and I think this was our concern in the back half of last season when the pressure really started to come on, that they wilted and couldn't handle it. And from the start of the season, we knew the pressure was on because the pressure was there from everybody to perform. And now that the pressure's starting to build in the early parts of the season, you can see, because last season, the first half of the year, there was no pressure on us to perform because no one really had too many expectations on us. I think there were to a certain extent, but it wasn't as much as there is now after last season. And I'll tell you, they can't handle the pressure. It's as simple as that. Like, the whole club just can't handle the pressure. Like, you saw it in the media, Chairs and Cook, and then on the field today. They couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle it at all, unfortunately. And I think it's a sign of the whole club. They couldn't handle the pressure from the media in a press conference. They couldn't handle the pressure on game day. And it got to him again. And like, I don't not to single him out, but like Patrick Cripps with left foot snaps, 20 meters.
Oh my God.
But like, and that's, see, and I'll never, like, you don't want to single that type of player, but that's just like, he's the pinnacle of our team on the field, right? He's the captain. He's the man. When's he ever done that in his career? Ever? Never. I don't understand it. And the worst thing about that is that he has clearly, I think this is probably he's either clearly gone to training and worked on it,
Mm.
and actually had the ball 25 meters out on that angle and thought, oh, this is the best way to kick a goal in this scenario. It just does my head in. It just, the basics they can't get right. Like, and I think the first kick in, I turned to a few blokes and people around me. I said, oh, $1, we know where this is going. Long up the line towards the interchange bench. The moment we started moving the ball, even with those risky kicks from kick-ins, we actually looked pretty good. But first 70 minutes, you can't win a game kicking one goal in 70, 80 minutes of football, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when we started
we are at the moment, we're a joke, really. We're the butt of everyone's jokes, and deservedly so too. At the minute, we're just very, very mediocre, very mediocre.
What would you like to see from a messaging standpoint this week?
Just take accountability for your poor performance. I don't think we've seen that enough for a long time at the club. I don't think we've seen accountability for a long time in any department, really. Board members getting promoted when AFLW programs are dog shit. People getting promoted for, with the skill set that is just makes you question things. And, Brad Lloyd again surviving another footy review. Don't know. Players not getting dropped when they probably should have been dropped earlier in the season. I don't know what can change with the messaging. Don't know. I think just accountability. Just put your hand up and just say we're not good enough. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I'd like for Voss to come out and say just tactically we got it wrong today. We didn't get the sub right. We didn't get our structure right forward of centre. And yeah, just take some accountability. I don't think he has done that yet this season. I know he probably does behind closed doors. Well, you'd hope he does, but yeah, I think that's probably where it needs to stem from. But I don't know.
Mm.
You're going to hear the bullshit this week. Oh yeah, it's another sellout. Collingwood, they're our rivals. We're going to rock up for this game. Blah blah blah. But they're the antichrist of what we are at the moment. High energy, belief, confidence, ability, winners, and we're just sort of meandering about, just going around in a circle. Really, I actually like it, and that ball use going forward of centre. Jesus Christ.
It's so painful, bro. It's so painful to watch.
There's no, and the moment it started looking good was when there was no, for at least 70 to 80 minutes, there was no little hit up inside forward 50. Around about 35, 40 out that week. Everything was just round the corner, scrappy, round the body, handballs with no purpose, kicks, high up in the air, hoping our forwards would mark. And, you just can't win games of footy like that, unfortunately. And if you do, you're going to lose more often than you do, unfortunately. So I don't know where to now in the middle of the season, because you can tweak a game plan. You can't really change everything in an instant, can you? Because it's results based. And if you try to do that, you're probably going to forego a handful of games, and I don't think Rossi can do that at the moment. And I think he's feeling the pressure of that at the minute. Is he not?
I think so. Well,
Mm.
I would hope to see some form of acknowledgement of where we're at.
Well,
Yeah.
I actually don't think they know where they're at, to be honest. And I think that's the confusing part with the messaging. You've got, Cookie saying that, list management's a bit top heavy. We've got an issue with it. Then Chera comes out and says what he says. And it's not so much the words, though, that worried me. It was more the body language from him, too. Just didn't look like he believed in what he was spouting, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When you get an idea of someone who's like beholden to what he's saying, you get that glow in the eyes, but he looked all at sea, unfortunately. But he was okay tonight. But yeah, as I said, you can't really win many games if you kick a goal in 70 minutes of football. So have we haven't really had a fast start at all this season, like as in from quarter one, have we?
Not really.
I'm talking like you get the energy up early. Everyone's up and about early in a game, and everyone's long. And
they don't have the same spark and energy and enthusiasm. And many things have died within the football club. Football terms related, not literally. The shine's gone. If you want to talk about it being the new regime, but there's just something about him that he's just so hollow and dark right now. Like there's no light to them.
It feels like everything that they are doing at the minute is laboured. Nothing is coming easy to them at the moment, and I think that's systematic and symptomatic of the way we move the ball forward of centre as well. So, Harry's just, he just seems to have got in his own head at the moment. The kicks around the body are not working for him. Can't really get involved in games for long periods of time either. And we just can't seem to get the basics right week in, week out, and that's a problem. What's happened to go? I know he had the off-field issue, but Jacob Wiedering, by golly, Jesus, what's happened to him?
Yeah, he's a vice captain as well.
He's
he is
well off the boil at the moment. He's running under the ball. His disposal is. Disposal's been diabolical for most of the year. But I don't think it's his actual kick. I actually think he's a nice kick. I actually think he's doubting himself. And the moment you have doubt at elite sport in this level, you're done.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Unfortunately. So, but the problem is again, and we are going through, and my fear, and I said to you earlier in the week, my fear is that we're just going to go around the same merry-go-round that we've done for 20 years, and it's starting to fester away now. It's people are not happy with the coach, and then people are not happy with the players, and everybody, people are fragmenting into these certain parts, which doesn't help. It's got to be whole club approach. Yeah. And I think that's been our problem for however many years now. So how you solve that middle of the season, God knows. I don't know, man.
That's why they paid 6 figures. That's why they paid 6 figures to figure it out.
Well, I mean, they are, but Jesus, we're not getting our bang for buck with a lot of that at the moment, are we?
No. Anyway, let's.
What do you do? We just I don't ever want to say that regroup and go again because that's a crock of crap, to be honest. But I'll tell you what, my trip to London could not have come at a better time. I wouldn't have thought. I think I just need a break from it all. I'll be watching, of course, as I always will be. But I think I just need a little spell away from Melbourne to come at a good time.
Yeah, I feel that. That. Well, thanks for coming on, mate. We'll chat to you soon.
Good luck tonight.
Can't wait.
Yeah, enjoy.
We'll go with the 50. Thank you very much, mate. And I think there's another one here as well. The Booze Hound with the 5 says the energy feels like they all got told they were being made redundant at the end of the season. It's a bit like that. Pommy's back.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Unacceptable, but evidently Luke Sayers pays my power bill. and it went out. I mean, no, as I was saying, small forwards, it's just the basics, Terry. And you know what fucking kills me? And I'm trying not to get angry because I don't know what it'll serve because I'm going to break down in tears. But fuck me, man. Like, this is basic. We are, what, 7? How many years are we into the rebuild now? 2015?
This is year 8.
8. Like, that was when my kid was born. You know what I mean? If my, like, Terry, this is one of, we are literally at a situation now. We've got Collingwood next week. The club can't keep surviving this. And the club can't. I've just heard Voss talk about effort again. And he needs to really face facts that the last 2 weeks where we've been close, it's because of being a 15-minute spell. But in reality, we've probably lost 2 games by 60, man. And I'm all for backing the players in and I'm all for belief and power of positivity. But let's be fucking honest. Something has to give. And I heard the noise. I had it on 2 on my volume so you guys didn't get copyrighted. And the noise in that third quarter, man, was fucking insane. No one can say anything about our fan base. They were fucking loud. They were loud. They were drilling them home. And coming in, that first half is honestly, it's made 2019 Collingwood look like a fucking dream. And I quit the show then. It actually looked like I was watching the Harlem Globetrotters.
It's baffling. It's that first half, it probably hasn't really hit. Tomorrow and throughout the week, that is going to sting so much, what we watched in that first half. After everything that had happened during the week, every word that was spoken, every little bit of poise that was displayed, every bit of external heat that came. And this is a group that even at our worst, when the heat really comes in the mainstream and in general, they show something to start that next game, generally speaking, with this group. And to see that,
mate, third quarter, I don't want to put accusations out there, but I remember Brentford last year under Ragnick. It was the last game Paul Pogba played.
yeah,
And there was huge rumours, even though United was starting to look a little bit better, that Paul Pogba went in the dressing room at that point and basically just said to the players, shit system, shit coach, we're going fucking nowhere. United's ruined, and United covered it up with a little bit of an injury. He got injured a bit after that and he never recovered and we got rid of him. And that was when Ragnick came out and said there's a cancer at the football club. Yeah. And it's all since come out. Pogba lost it. That reminded me, that first half of that game, of players just running about, not giving enough. Because, mate, the under-18s, there's something seriously wrong. The under-18 AFL Academy beat our reserves. And okay, Dow wasn't playing and players like that, but they comfortably beat a senior side. Comfortably. With the same game plan, the same system, the same mistakes were there. Either the players don't understand it, they don't want to play it, but there is something there where you're talking basic fucking skills aren't done, Terry. And is that Voss? Yes. Is that the players? Yes. But how many coaches are we going to go through with this playing group, Terry? When are we going to call these into question as well? The players have to cop this as well, because it's not fucking good about it. It's not good enough. Nowhere near good enough. And it's slowly happening. And you know what? I fear for them next week. I fear for them next week, because if Collingwood do us, there's nowhere to hide.
Ain't that the truth? Wow. Fuck. Collingwood next week. With the way we kick the ball. Can you imagine the way we're kicking the ball at the moment, knowing we've got Collingwood next week?
Terry, I've I've timestamped and I gave up at the third quarter 29 times. Players didn't lead for the ball. There's a great passage of play where Hugo Hagen shows you what it's like when he runs hard for space and he cuts us apart twice. And you watch Carlton on the back passage, they don't bother doing it. And Terry, I mean, I love this fan base. I love this club. I can cop losses. I can cop losses probably better than anyone in the world. But, mate, I'm sorry. I don't care who you are at the football club, and I don't care what fucking you can say about that. You can't tell me that that was any shape, form redeemable, because we are now 8 years in a rebuild. 8 years in a rebuild. We should be past 15-minute spurts to make the scoreboard look better.
Yeah.
And fuck me. I don't think I felt this low, and it hurts.
Yeah. I thought last week was one of the low points. I really did. All right. Well, now what? We've got to get on with it. We're going to go in there, watch it next week. Like, seriously, now what?
Don't know about anyone else, but I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to I'm going to sneak into my kids' room. I'm going to kiss them both on the forehead. I'm going to watch a shitty little fucking YouTube documentary with my darling wife. I'm going to fall asleep and fucking hate myself. And then tomorrow, I'm going to clip little bits of where we went wrong and little bits of where we went right. Do a fucking review, and then Monday fucking probably have to rate these dickheads with you. And I get back on the horse because I'm going to front up. And hopefully one fucking day, I will be able to review a team for you beautiful people that fucking does the same for me in return. And it fronts up and it fucking takes it on the chin. And it fucking goes again next week and next week and next week and next week after that. And I will drag this fucking football club back to the summit. I will drag this club back to the summit if it kills me. And if it kills me, I'll die a happy man.
Yeah, amen. Well, mate, thanks for tonight. That would have been a painful watch along. And we'll chat to you soon.
It was great, Terry. It was great. Great. That fourth quarter, honestly, if it was an option between watching it again and watching my nan's life slowly leave her as she hugged my hand, I'd probably choose the latter, to be honest. That was fun compared to that. But fuck me. We do what we do. I love you all. Can't wait for Collingwood. I can't wait to fucking wind Sweep Luke up for a week and it come back and bite me in the fucking dick. Can't wait.
Love it.
God Blues, I love you all. Stay safe. Love your mums as well. Happy Mother's Day to all the mums and happy Mother's Day to the dads that take on that job as well. If the mums are not there, you're all legends in my book. Without a mum, we wouldn't be here. Love you all.
See you, mate. Joder with the 5 says, I just don't understand how we shat ourselves in the last 10 minutes after a 30-point comeback momentum swing. It's a good point. All right. Jad.
Terry.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm in so much pain, bro.
Yeah, it's fucking painful. It's unreal what they continue the way that they continue to dig deeper into the hole as a football club when it comes to the football is beyond anything I've ever seen.
It's definitely getting into that territory now, isn't it? Like, this is the pattern of what's happening, like the narrative around the club since 2015. I've actually never seen it before with any club.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you think of a rebuild, you think Brisbane burst into life, Melbourne burst into life, then have a couple of down years, and they rocket back up to a flag. And we're just not anywhere. We're not following any trend, if that makes sense. Like, it's fucked, man. I was very close to tears today. Not so much because of that one loss, but because I think I've come on here previous weeks and I've spoken about the coach, and I want to try and not touch the coach today because I think his fate's been sealed. If I'm being perfectly honest, especially after today. But I think I took it so hard today because I think that realization that it's just not going to happen with this group. It's not going to happen with this coach. It's not going to happen with this board. It's not going to happen with this footy boss. I think today it really settled in and hit me square between the eyes that it's just not the mix right now on field and in off field is not right. And it's just another wasted year where we're just going to have to sit through it and hope that something happens at the end of the year. And I'm sick of it, Terry. I can't endure this anymore. I can't endure it. Like, why should any of us sit here and just take this? Now, just on the players, I mean, I just have a question. Like, you know, when they're in a game and they get dragged off for a rest, or maybe they're being pulled off the ground. What are they thinking when they're jogging off? You know, like, are they thinking to themselves, fuck, I'm getting dragged. I don't want to get off the ground right now. I need to help the boys win. Or are they thinking to themselves, thank fuck, it's not my responsibility anymore. I get to go have my rest on the bench. Whatever happens when I'm on the bench is not my problem. And when I get back on the field, I'll just do my thing. That's the psych question that I have about the group.
Yeah.
I look at the captain, Terry. He doesn't play like a captain. He hasn't for 2 years. Actually, no, that's a lie. No, sorry. Against Collingwood last year, round 23, he played like a captain. But more often than not, this guy, he doesn't make decisions like a leader would. I'm actually on the verge, mate. I'm on the verge of tears. He doesn't make decisions a leader should. Harry Mackay, we've signed him up for 6 or 7 years. Have we signed up 7 years of snapping it from 30 meters directly in front when we need a fucking goal? Is that what we've signed up for the next 7 years? Is that what we've got? Yeah. Is that what Nick Austin looked at and thought, shit, yeah? It's all just got a feel of inevitability about it, my friend. And I keep
you down for another rebuild?
What does it mean, bro?
What does that even mean?
You know, like, what is that? Yeah.
Rebuild. Oh my god.
I flagged it a few weeks back. I think we do need a little regeneration, but I think that just means another year or two in the shit.
Ugh.
But maybe that's better. Maybe that's better than this. Because I look at the club, and Paolo touched on it before, and he said they don't know what they are, and I think that is so true. I reckon I look at the club, and I think half the people in there think we're on the right track, and then I think Brian Cook knows that we aren't. You know what I mean? Like, he spoke the truth the other day on the radio, and I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I also really enjoyed the questions that Chera got asked. Like, that was finally some journos with some balls to ask a hard question. And it all got found out. I think Cook knows. I think a lot of them there who have been there since 2015, I think they're in a bit of denial. I think Sayers is in denial. Brad Lloyd, fuck me, what does he even do? Diesel, well, like, he loved Voss, okay, but did he love Voss because they're kind of from the same era? Their eras are closer to each other than, say, Diesel's era with Kingsley would have been? Like, was the generational gap between Diesel and Kingsley too far? And he loved Voss. I remember him going on tall raving about Voss. Was that just like a personality thing? Did he like his personality because they're very closely connected, like in their separate eras? Sorry, go.
Do you think Kingsley was the option instead of Voss?
After Lyon, I do think he was. I do think so.
Why was that?
Are you asking? Is that why did I want him?
No, I'm saying like you said, like you thought Kingsley was the option. I'm saying like what did you think was a better Why did you think that was a better option?
I thought that was a better option because it followed the modern trend. New coaches, new young modern day coaches who are known to be tactically competent seem to win flags in modern football more often than not. Like we went with a failed senior coach and we've given him another chance, and I just think we had the chance to just go with the modern trend. Look at Craig McRae. Before him, Adam Simpson. Who else? Take your pick. I just think we needed a proper, and before that, we needed a proper clean out. We did like a sort of a half-ass stopgap little clean out. It wasn't a proper one, really, when I look back on it. At the time, I'm not going to lie, I was happy at the time. Now you look back and it's thinking, did anything really fucking change? And now we're stuck here with a loss, with no direction. Like today was hard to take, the game itself, but it makes it harder because it's not like it's close to clicking. It's not like we can taste it. It's not like we can smell it. It's so hard because there's nothing after it. Does that make sense? Like, yeah.
Well, another cycle, another week of this. Can't wait.
Oh, that's what you do, mate. You love it. Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on. I thought you articulated yourself with class, my friend. Under immense pressure. So
thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Great stuff.
Love what you do. Yeah. Kick on.
See you, bro. Josh with the 8 says, time for a good old lock-in. I think the group is fractured. They need to work it out before we burn through another coach. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Rocco.
Hey, how we going?
Here we go again, eh?
Ask the same question every week. How we going?
I don't even know. I'm lacking any ability to like latch onto anything with hope. Like with hope. Like I'm losing trust in our guys more and more. It's insane.
So if you're losing trust, you reckon they're losing trust?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's the issue. So I said this tonight. I've never said this before. I hate going to the footy now, watching this team. I really do. I hate it because I don't get any joy now. Because I sit there, and this is how I felt. So I'll tell everyone how I felt tonight, right? So I go there, and even when they're coming back, I feel no joy. It's like there's no joy there anymore. They've seeked that out of me now. Like I don't get joy for next week. I don't get joy anymore. It's really just it's like how do you say it? Like it's something I have to do now. Like I go every week because I love the emblem, mate. I keep saying it. It's all about that monogram. I don't give a shit about anything else. I don't care. I don't care about the board. I don't care about I don't care about the players. I really don't care. Look at Liam Jones tonight. Does anyone care about Liam Jones? He was your favourite son 2 years ago. No one cares. That's the only thing you care about. and we've lost that now. I just hate going there. It's like a chore every bloody week with this team. And I tell you what, we've lost our soul, mate. We've lost it. And when it was to me, and you know me, man, I've been saying that I don't like the board. I don't like none of them because they don't represent what I represent, right? I don't care what anyone says. But when Matheson come out and said what he said, that was wrong. And that really has broken apart the club. Like within the family, you don't come out and say that shit. Like if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So that was wrong. And as soon as that happened, the club's fucked. The club is fucked now. That's it. They're done. How can Boss, how can all of them, any of these survive this now? How can they survive this unless we go on a 10-game winning streak? I'm telling you, whatever happens, unless we make it into the finals and that team is fucked this week because everyone's absolutely just fallen apart, man. Supporters have, the club has, the players have. It's just all fallen apart, and now they're turning on each other. So if they're turning on each other, how can you expect the team to bloody play in any sort? We play 30 minutes of football, and I think that 30 minutes just come out because of just the heart that players have got within themselves, you know, and they squeeze out 30 minutes of football, but that's all they can do. That's all they can do. They can't do more than that, and they prove it week in and week out. That Mackay's got to get dropped, mate. I don't care how many marks he takes along the wing. I don't care. I don't care how he can't go and be doing that shit and missing those goals. He's not even confident to kick 30 meters out anymore. That's like what's going on there, man. Like, you know, and then Cripps, he's lost the plot now. I don't blame him. He's probably got a whole heap of pressure on him now, you know, like who knows, man. He has to carry the pressure on the ground, you know, like he's the one that's on the ground taking the pressure from everybody, the board, the coaches, the boot starter. He's the one that's carrying that pressure, you know what I mean? And he has to go on there, and it's just way too much for him now, you know? They're ruining people like Wiedering, and even Walsh doesn't look like the man he was, you know, before, you know? So it's sad, man. It's sad to watch, man, when look, footy's supposed to be fun and we're supposed to enjoy this game, man. We're supposed to go out there and enjoy, win or lose, you know, but I can't enjoy it anymore. I just this is what they've done. I don't enjoy it anymore, man. Yeah, I don't.
I'm glad you said that because I wasn't going to talk about this on the channel, but I sat there in the third quarter. Take of this what you will. I don't give a fuck. I sat there in the third quarter with our comeback. And as we were coming back, I'll be dead honest, I sat there and I'm like, I don't want to win. It's gonna hide what that first half was. Yeah, I'm just being honest.
I was the same. I was a little bit because you know when go.
It's gotten to a point where it was so dysfunctional in the first half that you're right. The joy, like we came back, we hit the lead. Like I had my mate next to me and he's like, come on, get up. And I'm like, yeah, but, and even then I actually fell for it because I'm like, we're going to win this game. Oh, we figured it out. We're actually going to win this game. And then we didn't. And it's such a weird feeling. Like the footy is that happy place for me.
It's supposed to be happy.
You know?
They've made it into a misery. Like I'm telling you, I go there. I'm just miserable through the game, mate. I don't want to be. And I really, you know, this week I really wanted to win, you know, and especially after what the bloody Matheson come out. Then I really wanted to win. I really wanted to come out and then go, no, man, you can't do that to us, man. Like we're already hurting. What are you doing to us? You know what I mean? And I really, really wanted to win this week, you know, like really more than any other week. I wanted to say, listen, no, there's still something there for us. Trust me, there's still something there. Don't everyone get disheartened. There's still something there. But far out, I don't reckon there is, man, especially after that first half. I don't think there is.
Yeah. And then it became a bit of a shootout. And I'm like, well, this is actually all right. Well, we might be able to just come away with a bit of an ugly win, but we banked the 4 points. That was my thought process. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh my God, I was thinking exactly the same thing. I thought exactly the same thing. I thought, yep, at least we'll get a win and then we can at least come into next week. You never know what happens next week, And then we come in and then it was just the same old thing, man. They just like that last 10 minutes. And then when you look back at it, we played 30 minutes of football. Like, if you think about it, that's all we did. 15 minutes in that third quarter and then 15 minutes in the last. But that's all we did, really. Apart from the rest of it was merda. It was na schifezza, the rest of it. It really was. That first half, 1 goal. Come on, man. You can't do that. You can't kick 1 goal. You know what I mean? Like, it's just – but the on-field – like, I don't even know anymore. Like, I try to analyze it. I'm not that good at analyzing it. I just look at it as a basic sense. I can't analyze. 15% there. They kicked it. They only went in 22 times. Who cares? It's that gel that it's not there. It doesn't matter. You can give me as many stats as you want. They mean nothing if you haven't got that. You haven't got that career, that gel, that thing that teams have got. You know what I mean? We haven't got it. We haven't got it. The soul is gone, mate. They don't play. I'm sure, like, when we say, like, don't get us wrong, when we say, oh, they don't play for each other and all that, I'm sure they do. Right? I'm sure they love each other. I'm sure they play for each other. I'm sure they want to win. But when you take away that soul, you lose that essence where that's what you need to win the game, that last bit. Remember once I told you stretch out, and then I told you that I'm telling you that it's that last bit that they just don't give. And why don't they give it? You know what I mean? Why don't they give it? Because they don't believe in the coach, like whatever. They don't believe in it. They can't believe in the coach and the game plan. They can't. If they did, they wouldn't be playing like that. They would not be playing like that. You think I want to see another coach go? Paul last week was 100% right, mate. He made me think about things, and he made me think about we're going in the same fucking merry-go-round here. It's the same shit. It's week in, week out, year in, year in. You put in your dollar. Let's go around. All right, back in the same spot. Look, everyone, Big Ben. Look, everyone, Big Ben. Look, everyone, Big Ben. And then we're back in the same fucking spot of the roundabout again. Like, what are we going to do now? We're going to go sack another coach. We're going to redo the board. We're going to do until we fix up that essence. We're getting nowhere, mate. We are getting nowhere. I'm telling you, when you take shortcuts, Terry, in your life and that, if you take shortcuts, I'm telling you, you're going to be found out. You're going to be, and we take shortcuts. We take shortcuts in everything we do at that club. It's all about that instant gratification. It's all about just keeping the fans happy for that week. What are they going to come out with this week? That's so that, I don't know, did we reach another milestone in memberships or something? You know what I mean? And the shit they do even there, at bloody Eddie had, where do we play Marvel, whatever they want to call it now, right? That shit they do. They play songs. They got that lady talking. She annoys me, man. Shut up. Just shut up. I don't want to see people dancing at halftime. Like, seriously, you're going to dance? Like, I would, if I was a captain, I'd go, no, that's it. It stops. No one dances anymore. Like, it gives you the shits, man. Like, I've got nothing against it, but, mate, like, I'm already in pain. I've got to hear this thing. And then, mate, who come on? Luke Powell. Like, I've got nothing against him. Shut up, man. What you said was bullshit, man. You said, did you hear him? It was crap what you said.
I was on my phone.
Making it sound like we were doing, we just have to. No. I would have come out and said, that's crap, man. We're going to change the whole thing or we're going nowhere today. Like, let's be honest,
I was on my phone checking the stats, and I wasn't really paying attention to the interview that Luke Powell was doing.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at my phone, and I thought I heard him say, we're doing a lot right. And then I looked up, I'm like, Did he just say we're doing a lot right?
Exactly what he said. The exact words, we're doing a lot right. So they're fooling each other now. Like they're hoodwinking each other now. They probably went in there going, "Oh, we did it. We're doing a lot right. We just gotta finish it off." No, you're not doing anything right. You're doing zero right. Zero. That's what you're doing. Nothing right. Nothing you've done is right. Nothing you've done is right for the last 20 years, mate. There's nothing you've done. And now it's time. Anyway, I said this last week. It's time for the line in the sand. I don't know how many lines we can do in the sand, but how many more can we do?
It's a highway
Like,
now.
what
mate.
has to happen this week? Now we're going to get crucified this week in the media again. Like bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody's going to jump on, on everybody now. And I'm telling you, Paul Box, they're all going to cop it, mate. They're all going to cop it this week. And is that going to do us any good for this week against Collingwood? It's going to do us zero good. I think it's going to make things worse. What do they do about selection? I already seen people, we got to drop him. We've got to drop him. We've got to drop him. We're going to bring back Fish. Market guts. It doesn't matter who you bring in. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, mate. If you haven't got that thing, it doesn't matter. You can bring Jesus Christ himself there and you're not going to win the game.
That might have been the first time I smiled for the last 7 hours.
I'm with you, man, because I was not smiling there at all, man. And I stayed till the end. I stayed to watch. And then guess what I saw on Facebook? Someone took a photo of McGovern smiling, right? Even that's starting now. Like now, even if they smile, everyone's going to go against them. They can't smile anymore. And I kind of understand.
Yeah.
But then I also think like, well, I don't know. What's he supposed to do? He probably said something funny, like, I don't know, but now, unfortunately, they're going to cop it for that too, man.
Well,
this is bad.
This is bad, but we have to move
on. This is bad, man. I'm telling you, this year's not going to end up good. It's not going to end up good. I'll tell you right now. It can't end up good. It can't. Yeah. It can't, and we're going to go. And I don't know what to do anymore. Like, seriously, I think we all try to act like experts, right? And try to figure out, I reckon it's this and that. I don't know, man. I reckon we lost. As I said, it all comes down to the people who lead the club, and we need some true leaders. I don't know where they are on that scale. I don't know where they are, but we need some true leaders, man. We need some ones who are going to stand up and really lead this thing. And I don't know who it is, but I don't know, man. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Said. Thanks, Rock.
Well, all right. Enjoy, guys, man. Keep faith. No, don't keep faith. That's bullshit. Just it's bullshit. Faith is when you haven't got any answers. You got faith, man. We need answers. So everyone just stick with the Blues. I know you aren't going anywhere, and things will happen. Things will happen.
All right, mate. Ciao.
See you, mate.
All right. Let's get through. Ed.
Hey, Terry. How are you?
Good to see you again, mate.
Yeah, mate. Good to see you. That was a rough one, mate. That was really rough. A bit like you, when we were coming back, I just found it hard to get out of my seat and get excited about it. Even when we got in front, I thought, God, if we kick the next one here, we'll be really hard to beat. But there was just nothing particularly exciting about it because of the way we played.
Then I felt guilty for it. I felt guilty
me too.
For feeling that way. I'm like, I shouldn't be like this because I'm just being a negative Nancy here. But you feel what you feel.
Yeah. I will say, though, I mean, being really specific to one person, I thought Matty Owies played the exact role he's in the team for. And after he kicked every goal, he tried to fire everyone up. Like he turned to the crowd, grabbed his jumper. And I thought, there's a bloke who understands where we're at and is trying to drag us out. But I wouldn't have thought it'd be Matty Owies to do that. Of all the players we've got in the team, Matty Owies to do that. I mean, Jesus. I'll tell you what, so the kicking issue that you mentioned earlier, just like the way we kick the ball and the problem that's going to cause us against Collingwood, I mean, that's been an issue all year. For whatever reason, it seemed to be happening slightly closer to goal tonight, which I think is probably better. So it wasn't so much exiting the background as back line as it was entering the forward line. So maybe it's another kick or half a kick closer to our goal, which is a good thing. But I tell you what really bothered me at times is that handballing the ball to a player who is clearly under pressure, or even worse, getting tackled. Like they're in the middle of getting tackled and you handball the ball to them. And I just thought my way through it. It's like if you've got the footy, you either get rid of it for two reasons. One, because there's somebody else in a better position, or two, because you're just like, I don't want this thing. You have it. And that seems to be the way we handball a lot of the time. Just like, I don't want this responsibility. I'm going to give it to you, and you're getting tackled, but I don't care because at least it's not my responsibility. And there is no system to that whatsoever. You're never going to find a player who can spread from the contest or get a chain of handballs out so that someone can kick the ball properly. And that was the difference, because I don't think the Bulldogs are particularly good. I'm not resenting them for beating us, but every now and then they would get 3 or 4 clear handballs where it was like, we know there's going to be a man 2 meters this way out of the pack. He knows there's going to be a man this way out of the pack, and then they're clear. And it just didn't happen all night for us. So that handball piece, which has been okay this year, I just thought that was a real issue tonight. Blokes handballing it to blokes who are already getting tackled.
Low footy IQ.
Yeah, you've talked about that. Do you know what word gets thrown around with? I mean, it gets thrown around by our captain and our coach a lot. Is this connection? Like, we just lacked connection, and I've realised that I don't actually know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, I do not know what that word means. So I was trying to think about it during the week, and I reckon really what connection is that wherever the ball is, whoever's got it, the opposition in dispute, us, whatever the state of the game is, we're up by a goal, we're down by 3 goals, they're coming at us, we've got momentum. If you ask all 18 players wearing a Carlton jumper, they all agree based on all that information, what happens next. Now, I reckon if you ask the Carlton players on the ground about, right, we're in this situation here, what should we do? You'd get about 4 or 5 different answers. Hey, we're 3 goals down, but we've got the momentum. There's a player free on the wing, but it's pitting it. So where's this ball going to go, guys? And half of them are like, I'll kick it to him. Half of them are like, well, I'll lead this way. It just doesn't seem like we're on the same page. And if we bring that back to, I mean, you could call that footy IQ, but isn't that system? Shouldn't that be practiced? Hey, in this situation, we do this. I mean, if you're not what are you doing at training if you're not training that type of scenario? So that's that sort of connection piece. It just doesn't feel like they're on the same page. Half of them want to go into the corridor. Half of them want to go long down the line. Half of them want to go quick with hands. Half of them want to go slow. And yeah, it's frustrating to watch. But I really don't know. I don't know what we do about it. That's why I'm not in the inner walls of the club. But that's what I think the problem is.
It's a really good observation. Yeah, because as a group, I think they would be well connected with each other in the real world. I mean, obviously, talk about what happened with Doc and the unity. Everyone shaved their heads. I think through really terrible circumstances like that, the silver lining is it can bring people together, especially when you're talking about a sports team. So I think in that aspect, I thought we had that. But in a performance context, it's very disconnected.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's almost, you're right. It's hot potato. You do the press conference this week. No, you do it. No, we won't put any of the leadership group in there up there. Someone else do it. Oh, you played well this week. Wouldn't be surprised if Matt always fronts up on Monday because he played well.
Yeah. Look, I don't know if this. In fact, I'm almost positive it does make me delusional, but there are still just tiny captions of each game this year that give me just the tiniest bit of hope. And in some ways, maybe that's worse than just being totally dreadful. If we were just totally shitful, maybe I could just be like, right, that's how it is. But there's just moments, even tonight, where I'm like, right, can we bottle that, whatever that was? And why don't you talk about what we're all feeling there, or what the plan was? And that's what we've got to do for 120 minutes of footy. So I'm going to hold on to that, mate. I don't quite know, but yeah.
It's the only way we can keep going to the games, and you have to have hope to show up.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah.
Thanks for coming on, man.
That's what I got, mate. Cheers, buddy. Have a good night.
You too, man. 5 from the Booze Hound says, Jesus Christ in navy blue could kick a bag 3 weeks straight and still get crucified before Ed Kerno and Mackay. Sayaf.
What's up, brother?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
The Blues are back.
We're back. The Blues are back. This is us.
The real us.
Has there ever been a team that has this many perceived superstars that performs like this consistently? Or am I just being silly by making that? Like, I'm trying to think.
Not that I can think of. But we had this, even in 2021, when we were getting absolutely hammered and battered by the media and by the external football world, by the opposition, we had this spine that everyone acknowledged. Okay, we had Wiedering, we had Walsh/Cripps, and we had Harry Mackay. Now, from those 4 people, Terry, which one of them are even performing close to that 2021 or 2022 form right now? Which one of them out of those 4? None. How many tackles do you think Patrick Cripps laid tonight? Take a guess.
Oof, I haven't checked. How many tackles did he lay?
Take a guess, just straight away. If you had to take a guess,
5.
Hold on. How 5? He laid 0 tackles, Terry. Number 1.
No way.
Yeah, our highest tackle count for the game was 6, and that was Matt Kennedy. 6. And everyone else, I think, besides Doherty, was 5 and under.
Wow.
Patrick Cripps, 0 tackles.
Wow.
Enough said.
Right. Okay.
And if, I don't know, I was maybe he's injured or whatever. Well, if you're injured, you don't get 26 touches to begin with. So
that's rattled me.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I didn't know until Juliet messaged me while I was waiting on the phone. I was like, fuck me.
What do you expect? Starts from the top. Yeah. And I'm almost made to feel like I should be not putting pressure on Cripps or the leadership group because it's a bit too much for them. I'm almost made to feel guilty for expecting and looking at the leaders first before the rest of the team, which I find fascinating.
I get that, and a part of me, man, like the sympathetic side of me feels really bad for Patrick Cripps because he's been there through the absolute shit that this club has had, and he's in a position now where he's in his when was his first season? 2013 or 14? And now we're in 2023, and he has not played a final yet. And for that sole reason, I genuinely feel really bad for him, and really sorry for him that it could be a whole career wasted with that talent that he's got and that work ethic that he showed us in his first years, man. Like, come on, bro. He's coming off a Brownlow. Which club has had a Brownlow medalist and a Coleman medalist in the same year and hasn't played finals? And it's not even the topic of finals, Terry, because we could play finals this year. We could make the finals, whatever, but the idea of winning a flag is so far from this group that it's not even fun. It's not even about making finals anymore. We were a point away from making finals last year. All right, even if we made finals, even if we beat Collingwood round 23, it wouldn't have really changed much, in my opinion. That your purpose for this channel is to, like you said, it's a documentary of like for the path to a flag, but we are so far from that, bro. And making finals, like, I don't know why people are so big on making finals. It's not going to get you that straight away. We've shown absolutely nothing to give us any hope that, okay, this group will win a flag. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
In the first 10 rounds last season, yeah, we did. But now, like, even that halftime, man, when Luke Power came out and he's like, you just quoted it before. He said,
We're doing so much right.
we're doing so much right. You know what? It makes me think it's like he's literally like a supporter now. When, as much as we know we shit, we don't like admitting it. And we always like, just justifying our games and this and that and just holding on to that. It's crept into the coaching as well now, man. Like, they can't even admit. We've scored 10 points at halftime. How are we doing so much right? I don't count behind. You've kicked 1 goal at halftime. What part of that is doing so much right?
Yeah.
None of that makes sense, bro, like, at all.
They did half the job because I think he was referring to our contested ball numbers and our clearance numbers. So, but it's half the job. Winning the ball is part of the job. And then using the ball effectively is the rest of the job. But without one or the other, you haven't done the job.
Our
So
contested possessions, though, Terry, and our uncontested possessions and our ground ball gets, that's been up every single week, though, but we're not winning games. So all those stats could be up. We could be first in the competition for contested possessions or for uncontested possessions or for any of those stats that come up on the big screen when we're down week in, week out. But what does it matter if you're not winning games? So
Yeah.
what?
Fair.
Like, who are they playing, man? I don't know if they're playing themselves or us or both, but it doesn't win you games, man. Execution and good decision making wins you games, and kicking goals, not fucking snapping it in front. I don't know if you saw ABB's Almost Blues Brothers story just after the game. It was literally a little montage of those misses in front of goal in the first quarter. If it was Harry Mackay, Patrick Cripps, Jesse Motlop, Sam Walsh, we can't kick in front of goal, man. Like, and it's not just tonight or last week. It's been all year round. We snap in positions when you're not supposed to snap. Go back and kick the drop punt, but they have no confidence in their drop punt at all. Why is Patrick Cripps kicking on his left, man? From there, if you can't kick a drop punt, kick a banana, man. Don't kick on your left. He's kicking with his right's atrocious, bro. Let alone his left, man. What are you relying on? But it's just tough, bro. It's just such a tough watch, and it gets worse and worse every single week. I thought that Adelaide game was bad.
Yeah.
And then Brisbane, I thought last week, I was like, I can't get any worse than this. I've never felt that low, but tonight just tops it. And if you think tonight's bad, next week's going to be fucking 10 times worse, man. Because nothing feels that bad, compared to a loss to Collingwood. It's going to get worse and worse.
The only silver lining I see about talking about Collingwood and how we feel right now is that it's going to be drilled in by so many people. If we play like this, Collingwood will smash us, like that sentiment. I hope that somehow seeps into Collingwood's minds and they get a little ahead of themselves and they're like 5% off because they're just expecting to sort of come out and win. That's the only positive I can take from those comments. But I thought about it all night. The Dogs punished us, but nowhere near to the level of what Brisbane did last week and what a top 4 team like Collingwood and Geelong, when they're up and running, would do as well, and the Ds. And so living in this state of perpetual fear of what's to come is arguably the worst place to be as a fan or as a supporter of a sporting team. Because it's just you just question, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You don't need to put yourself through this.
100%. And there's no, like I said, but there's no excuse anymore because you're not. You can't say, oh, they're rebuilding. They're in their first year, second year. It's all going to click. It's all good. When's it going to click? We're in year 8, bro. What's going to click? There's nothing left to click. All the pieces are there.
Yeah.
Everything is there, man. How many? We're at 4 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. Correct?
4-1-4. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And there's 14 rounds left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what? We need 8 wins from those 14 games left to get to 12 wins and a half. Correct. And that doesn't even lock in finals, bro. That's absolutely crazy. 8 out of 14 wins. And our next 5 games are literally the hardest out of any other team's next 5 games.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. No, look, I don't know. I'm trying to stay week to week and stay in the moment, but it's tough. That's tough because this has been a trend now. But yeah, say off.
What can you do, bro? You either cry or laugh. Straight up. At least you're laughing, bro.
Oh, I'm going crazy. Maybe I am crazy. Yeah, I've lost
Bro,
my
I'm
mind.
so delusional, bro. I was
Yeah.
walking down the Marvel ramp and I literally said, as fucking shit as we are right now, I still think we're going to beat Collingwood next week. That's how delusional this club's made me, bro.
Wow.
Straight up.
Wow.
It was 2 minutes after the game had finished. Because the thought of losing to that club, man, is just, you can't accept it.
Yeah, next week's a real important one for the fans. It always is. Collingwood's a really important one to the fans. So when they dish up what they dished up tonight next week, yeah, they'll
Like
be
I
booed
told
off.
you, it can't get any worse, but it can, bro, because next week
Yeah, it
can
can.
be worse.
Of course it can.
100%.
Of course it can. But
What do you do, bro? You got to move on?
Yeah, man.
You got to really take it a game at a time.
Sunday,
But
3:20.
That's it. Next week's the biggest of the year. No doubt.
Can't wait. I'll see you there.
See you there, brother. Take care, yeah.
All right, bro. Ciao. Michael Maloney.
I wasn't going to come on.
Let me just read out the message. Hang on a minute.
Please.
Can't do it, bro. This club has cooked me. Love ya. Welcome to the fan cams, mate.
Unbelievable. What are they doing to us, man?
Yeah.
Let's ditch the coach talk for a bit. I don't want to talk about the
Right.
coach. I don't want to talk about the board because none of us have any idea what's going on there. We can all think and hyperverbal, all that crap. I don't want to talk about that. I just want to talk about the football. That's it. For me, the non-negotiables when you're playing a game of footy, when you mark the ball, you get 5 meters off the back of your mark, you run back off your mark, and you find the next kick. Our back line is ceased of that. They wouldn't know what that is. Stagnant, stale, wouldn't know how to switch the ball if it was in front of them. Scared, timid, meek. Very, very poor. There's no dare, there's no want, there's no hunger. And as soon as that hunger and adrenaline comes into their game plan, which we'll get to, look what happens. Half an hour of game, and all of a sudden, we look all right. 5-goal lead taken off, hit the front. Obviously, the rest is history. What is our game plan? Someone please tell me what our game plan is. I've been going to the football now for 25 years. I've been sitting with Paul at the football for 15. And I still am yet to understand what our game plan is. If I watch Geelong, I know what I'm getting. I watched Richmond on Friday night, and I still know what I'm getting from Richmond. And they're done, apparently. You watch Collingwood, you know what their game plan is. Explain to me what our game plan is. Now, I'm sorry, this is where I just can't blame the coach. It cannot be instilled from our coaching staff that every single kick out on that left side has to be kicked towards the interchange bench. Every single damn kick. It's like the same old tune. Like we used to do that at the Malt House.
Mm-hmm.
And
We
then
did.
it is actually PTSD that is instilled in these players that they just don't know anything else other to bomb it down the line, pray and hope that Charlie or Harry will mark it. And if they don't, please give us a free kick. That's pretty much our game plan. Because as soon as we go away from that and we start looking to doing something different, we become the team that we all hope to be. But when have we ever taken on that corridor kick? I think we did it 2 times tonight, 2, 3 max. Have we, and I spoke to you before the game about this, have we just been deluded as a supporter base and overrated this list for too long now? Is this list really the list that is ever going to do anything? And it hurts so much that I have to even say that. Because we've invested all our love and passion into these boys, and we've all thought that these boys could take us there, and I'm not giving up, still not, And I don't think I ever will. I don't think any of us will. But are they? I said to Paul on the way home in the car, who's untouchable in that team? If Tasmania came knocking on the door tomorrow and said, we'll give you 2 first-round draft picks, who is untouchable at Carlton?
Walsh?
Yep. That's one we said.
Charlie?
Yep, and that's when my conversation stopped. Well, how much more upside can we get out of a 29-year-old Patrick Cripps? How much more upside are we going to get out of a 29-year-old Adam Chera? Adam Sard. You know, I'm not saying that these players have hit their ceiling yet. I'm not saying that. But sooner or later, these guys have got to start making accountability for themselves and realize the shit you've been touted. That everyone believes that we have this such a great list, that we're there, we can do it. But we're not doing it. I'm sick of this narrative that we have a better list than Collingwood. Oh, it makes me sick when I hear that. I want to vomit. What defines us having a better list than someone else? I'll tell you what defines us having a better list: winning, and we don't do that.
Yeah.
It's very poor tonight, and you know you get the momentum, and you could see we just looked like a horse that was out of legs pretty much in that last 8 minutes. It's like we'd spent all our money getting in front, and you were right. If we had won, would we have had a bit of a bittersweet feeling about the night? Probably. It would have been paper over cracks, 100%. There's underlining problems within the playing group. I'm not talking about the coaching, and I'm not talking about the board. It's the playing group I want to talk about.
What about this one? Do you think, is there more to be said about the way it ended last year and what it did for them as a group collectively? And did it scar them a little bit? I'm not giving you an excuse, but what I'm just genuinely did the way it ended last year fracture them as a group mentally and their belief in themselves?
Well, I think it can, obviously. Well, you look at Sydney this year; it's completely burnt them out. You know, they've got a few injuries. You know, their backline's pretty under siege. But you know, a big hit like that, whether it's on grand final day or round 23 for us, which was pretty much our grand final, in hindsight, can take a lot out of you. Now, does that mean that this list has to just realise that they're never going to be anything just because of that round 23 loss? We're never going to equate to anything because we lost to Collingwood in under a minute left in the game. Come on. Hard times create hard men. Simple as that. Or hard people, not hard women.
I'm waiting to see these hard men emerge.
Well, I don't know where they are. You know, I'll take 22 Matt Kennedys. That's hard to me.
Yeah.
I got shares in Matt Kennedy. He resembles everything I want as a Carlton player.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to do everything right, but you know what? He tries 100%. Matt Owies, he is just everything I want a Carlton player. So whatever they've got, bottle it and give it to the other 20. But this whole narrative of it's easy. We'll bring Dow in. Can't say when me and you read the teams and we saw the sub being a 35-year-old, I was extremely happy. That was a little bit damning. It is what it is, man. Next week, me and Paul sat there at the end of the game in our seats, and we wait literally for everyone to leave just for 5 minutes. And he looked at me and he goes, "Why are we doing this to ourselves, man? Why are we doing this to ourselves?"
Yeah, I know. Yeah, 30s, man. I'm 32 years old now. It starts getting to me. It does. I start thinking.
Remember the movie Benjamin Button? I feel like my life is actually in the reversal of what that movie is.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting older quicker because of this mob.
Quicker. Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll be all right. You see the wrinkles here? It's all... There's a couple of greys, but it's all good. We'll live. Laugh. Hey, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. Correct. Unfortunately, there seems to be a little bit of both, but we live to fight another day. Don't burn your memberships.
Well said. See you Sunday, 3:20 MCG. Yeah. Kool-Aid in hand.
We need to get that MC out of it. If I hear her go, "And Blue Baggers, we're back."
No, look, she does it. Bless her. It was just so. It wasn't her fault. It was because it was such a shit first half. Any noise was just hurting. It was painful.
Silence.
Yeah,
Silence. Hello, silence.
yeah,
Anyway, I don't want to go singing.
yeah,
But enjoy your night.
yeah.
Good luck. I know.
Thanks,
these are-
Chich. See ya.
and happy Mother's Day to everyone.
Yes, happy Mother's Day. Thanks, bro.
See you, brother.
All right. I think I can see Ugo has donated 10 Blue Broad memberships. Ugo, mate, you just thank you. Thank you very much. Gucci Fella, $2 says, are around the corner kicks our only asset inside? Seems that way. Seems that way. All right. Who's here? Shannon,
Hey.
mate.
I don't know anymore. I've never been more angry after a game in a long time.
Yeah.
Because
It was
it's
2021 Collingwood round 2. It was that kind of anger.
yes. I was like it's really funny. I was just like losing it after the game. It's like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, we sit through it every week and we think it's going to be a different result. Like that first half is probably the worst first half of football I've seen from this football club since Bolton days.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, you call yourself a top 8 contender and you kick one goal for a half of football.
Yeah.
Like, I'm scared when Harry takes a mark in our forward 50 now.
I think he
Like,
feels it. I think he can
yeah,
feel it. It's rubbing off on him. You can sense
Yeah.
the anxiety in the crowd.
Oh, and it's all up in here.
Mm.
Like, he's doubting him. He plants a seed of doubt in his own head, and then it just snowballs. And then for the rest of the game, he's like, cool, I can take a mark on the wing too. But, you're a Coleman medalist and you're kicking the football like that. Like, kick a drop punt.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on. Like, I love
These are
Harry to
the-
death, but
Yeah.
give me the death of me.
These are the leaders. I mean, it has to be these guys. It has to be Harry. It has to be Charlie. It has to be Jacob. And it has to be Patrick. These are the guys. These are the leaders. This is them. This is
Yep.
the keys have been handed over to them. Like, these are the
Yep.
ones that have to do it and help lead.
Yep.
And they're still figuring themselves out, whether we want to accept that or not. Harry is still figuring it out. Unfortunately, we're talking about it in that way now, but he's still
9 years
figuring it
into
out.
his career.
Yeah, I know.
I thought Cottrell was probably one of our better players tonight. Came in and he
Yeah.
actually tried. Like, he actually tried
Yeah.
to run and dash. He tried to create something. And can't rely on one bloke. It actually, we were walking out and I'm like, we've got Collingwood next week. And all I'm going to hear is swoop all week. It's just going to be like, how do you get yourself up for that? Like, we'll be there in droves because it's
Of
a
course.
sellout.
Telling each other that we're going to win today. Oh, yeah, I think we'll be all right today. What do you think today? Oh, yeah, no, if we just do this, I think we'll win. Yeah, we should get him. Oh, yeah, Billy Frampton's injured. Yeah, I think Charlie might kick 6 today.
Yep, and the grass is green and Matt Rowell's going to smell it and we're going to win. So, like, yeah. They give me a headache, Terry. Like,
Yeah, I
I
know.
leave the game with a headache. And we shouldn't feel like this. You and I have been supporting this football club for our entire lives, and we're like 32 now, and we're like, well, are we going to see something?
Something.
Something. Like,
If I had told you 10 years ago that
anything.
2011 would be the best year for the next 10, you would have called me crazy.
I know.
You
And it's
know?
horrible. It's horrible to
Yeah.
think that after 2013, it's just been mediocrity.
Yeah.
And you see glimpses of good football. Like, that third quarter was glimpses of what this can do. and then they go back into their shell. They kick
Mm.
1 or 2 goals out of their ass and they drop their heads and that's the end of it. See you later.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this dropping your head bullshit is Teague days or Bolton days. Like, come on, guys, have a little bit of belief. Like, Collingwood were 28 points down Anzac Day at 3/4 time. There's a difference. They had the belief in themselves to get over the line. We don't have that belief in that group. I don't know who's going to be the spark, but I can guarantee you we're going to be hearing that Collingwood chant all around the MCG on Sunday, even though we're going to have seemingly more supporters there, and it's going to be shit. I just hope. Look, I'm going to pray that we win by a point, just so revenge is sweet.
That might be the only way to remove the curse.
Yep.
I don't know.
Something's got to give in that
Yeah,
group.
yeah. Yeah.
We turn up.
Hey.
Now it's their turn.
Yeah. It was quite interesting to hear them talk about fans getting down there this week. And mate, don't you tell me to go to a game.
I'm going to be there.
President tweeting fans get down there. What are you talking about, mate? We're there every week, brother. What are you doing?
We've been there every week.
We're there.
Every week. Every week
Yeah.
we've been there.
Don't tell me to come to a game. Don't tell the fans to show up to the games, mate. We've been there for years. So tell your
we'll
football
be there long
department.
after he's gone.
Yeah, correct. Tell your football department to get serious and start implementing better processes to get us closer to winning more games more consistently. Let's start there, mate.
It's a stark contrast to where we were this time last year.
Yeah.
We were laughing at 8-2. Laughing.
Yeah.
Now we're sitting at 4-1. Like,
yeah.
Some might go, oh, that's not too bad. No, not with the expectations that we've got on this group, because we know what they're capable of.
Yeah.
And that's what pisses us off the most, is not the fact that we lose, it's how we lose and the way that we play. And everyone's covered that tonight. And it's a common theme. Like, what more can we do as supporters to get these boys over the line? Like, we were the loudest tonight. What more can we do? Like,
nothing
more we can do.
Nothing more.
We'll turn up next Sunday, 3:20. I'll be there.
Correct.
Why?
Well, Shan,
yes.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. I get breakfast in bed. Yay.
Yeah, you
It's the
deserve
only
it.
win for the weekend.
You deserve the world. You have a great Mother's Day. Thank you for being
Thank you.
here, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon, Tez. Have a good night.
Bye. All right. Where are we? Jacob.
Terry, how's it going, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm okay. I went with my mum, my dad, and my sister because my dad and my sister are Bulldogs. Me and my mum are Carlton. It's become a bit of a tradition the last couple of years, so it's not as bad. It's a bit more fun, not as serious. But like, I try to be as glass half full as I can all the time, but it's so hard to find answers as to why they're so stagnant one moment, but the next quarter they can be so free-flowing. You know what I mean? Like, it's evidence in every single game we lose. Like, Brisbane game, fourth quarter, we're playing to get into finals, right? The North game, we showed up for half a quarter, maybe a quarter. And then today, end of the third quarter and the start of the fourth, you know, we're playing such free-flowing through the corridor footy, and yet the other three quarters are just, you know, so stagnant. Like, it's the only thing I can't find an answer to, like anything logical about.
Mate, it feels like every week there's more questions. There's a new layer of a new question of a new part of our game that we have to unlock. You know, it was scores off turnover one week, and then it was the exit kick from defensive 50, and then it was, we're not using the 45, and then it was, we want to get some more overlap and move a little bit more laterally so we can buy our forwards some more time. Like there's just more layers of more questions every week, and then it's almost like they fix that one question the next week, but then forget about the 8 other questions that were raised, before
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And one of the blokes you had on before, I forget his name, but he was talking about connection with the players, right? So my first year at uni a couple of years ago, my very first class, I sat on next to a bloke who used to play for Richmond, right? He didn't play any finals for him, but he was in that period, like in between 2014 and 2019, he was on the list. So he saw the full transformation of becoming a bad team to, the premiership team. And I had to ask him about it. I felt bad for talking about his career, but the first time we caught up for lunch, I was talking to him about it, and I asked him, like, what was the difference between like that 2016 and then 2017? Like, what changed? Because it was so dramatic. Because in my opinion, the parallels to that Ninthman team, like in 2016 and us right now, is just, it's crazy, right? And he said, mate, the 2017 preseason, Richmond went on a trip, like a retreat, not a footy camp, not like a retreat, and they all opened up, like emotionally. He said there were players crying everywhere. It was just, yes, like sort of a spiritual, emotional retreat in that 2017 preseason. And that's what he said. He reckons it was the biggest contributor to them playing, finals and then winning the flag in 2017. And then, like, I think obviously the players look like they're great mates off the field and whatnot, but there just doesn't look like there's a connectedness between the players, the coaches, and that sort of triangle of, like you look at what Bulldogs did today. Their handballs and outnumbering at the contest, their last handball leads to a guy that can just run off and into the corridor or into the space. Our last handball, that sort of connection, turns into a hospital handball and a tackle and a ball up. You know what I mean? And all the best teams do it. Their last, with their connection around contests and around things like that, we just don't look connected.
Yeah. Fair point. Yeah. I don't know how to fix that in a week.
No, you definitely can't. And it's something, and maybe that's what Chera and Voss are always talking about, like building, what do they say? They talk about building connection with the midfield and, playing together and getting a good run of games. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe they really do need to play more to be more connected in them. But who knows,
Yeah. No. What do you feel about next week?
Oh, mate. My brother-in-law is as diehard Collingwood as I am Carlton, right? So we've been going to the last couple Carlton Collingwood games together. It started in 2021. We went to that round 2 game where Plowman was having a laugh with the goalie when he kicked 4 on him. And we went last year to both the games, just me and him. And you can imagine how that last round 23 game went. That whole half, we were sitting next to each other and we just were not talking to each other in the second half. Like, it was bad. But I've kept my hopes down for this game. I'm texting him like, oh, don't worry, like Carlton's no good anymore. You guys will breathe us. It'll be all good. So if we lose, it's not a he can't have a big say about it.
Well, let's see what this week holds, and let's see what next Sunday holds, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it every single week since that Adelaide loss. We have not shown anything yet that we can beat a side above us. We can beat a team below us on pure talent, right? We've done it this season, but we have just shown absolutely nothing that we can beat a team above us yet. So until they do, I don't know how we can go into favourites into any team in the top 8 we play.
Fair. Well, thanks for joining and thanks for contributing, man.
Thanks, mate. Love your work.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah.
Josh.
Hey, Jerry. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Oh, this club, man. Carlton supporter syndrome. I don't know. Oh. I'm actually down from Brisbane. I was here last week. I'll be here next week. This club. I don't get to come to live football that often, so being around it is so special to me. And I get to come with my grandma. That third and early in the fourth, I was sitting on the other end from where the cheer squad was, and I got to see how visceral it is and feel how visceral it is when it turns. Fuck, man.
It's a dark place when it turns. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like, heard you saying earlier, like, I don't want to win because we need to see the cracks. And it was, for me, a very faithless performance. They just didn't show faith in the club or the symbol or what it means. It's like they don't know. They should, but it's like they don't. It's just
like
not good enough.
Yeah, there's a lost identity amongst them.
Hmm.
Seems. Yeah, there's
Like,
I think Rocco said it
yeah.
earlier. Like there's like the soul of them, the energy of them, their collective energy is gone. There's no spark about them at the moment. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like that first quarter, those four, who knows which direction those snaps went. Someone's got to take responsibility. And Cripps missing his, it's got to be the captain, right? It's just got to be. You can't miss that. 30 meters out, that's got to be a goal every time.
Yeah.
Felt like it was a shootout that the fans deserved to win, but they didn't. They didn't deserve that win. I loved Silvani's game, especially his first half. But I don't know. I'm just not in a place to look at positives. It just feels as it has for so long.
Yeah. It's probably not as bad as what we all think it is, but it's so hard to find out why it's not as bad because we haven't seen the contrary yet. So the only thing that's allowing me to stay somewhat in control is the thought of we just need all the information, and really at the end of the day all you can do is make adjustments week to week. They work, they don't work, you make them again, and then you have the full bit of information, then you just continue to make decisions and you continue to chip away at it. It just seems like we are chipping away in the most minute of ways every time. And I don't even know anymore if we are actually chipping away forwards or,
Well, I
or
feel
just,
like we've regressed even. I think if you were to take the last month of last year and put it into this year, that puts us at what, 4, 8 and a draw. And
from round 10 last year?
Well, if you were to take the last 4 rounds where we lost, or maybe last 3, where we lost 3 in a row,
right?
And this year we got lucky because of how well we performed at the start of last year, but since then we've not been that club.
No.
Which just hurts, man. Just hurts.
Yeah. Well, mate, thanks very much for waiting and jumping on. Is it your first time on?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, thought so. Welcome to the fan camps.
Good to be here, man.
You have a good night.
You too.
See you, mate. Chris.
How you going, mate?
You got a fresh microphone set up there, crisp sounding. Wow, this guy up and about.
Thanks. But actually, it's my birthday on a couple of days, and me and my partner have the exact same birthday, so we shared gifts today. So this is part of the little gifts. So yeah, I've had a pretty good day other than that.
Man.
Thank you. It was funny because I was watching the game at at the pub. because having the dinner with the family and all that, and I had a really good day, and and it's kind of funny just watching Carlton just slowly bring you down into like madness, just one goal at a time, just one turnover. Just having a lovely day with the family, and then I just see someone turning the ball over. It's I just think everyone's just. I feel like every fan is confused.
Yeah.
Like we're all so confused and worried about what's going on, because like we're all getting mixed messages about what's actually happening inside the club, what they actually think is going on. Like because obviously, as other people know, like there's no consistent message. It's all 1 week. It's like start of last year. It's we think we're going to make finals, or we expect to make finals, and then this year it's a backflip. And it's just there's no consistent message. It's like, how can the players know what to expect, and all the footy operations expect when the board flip flops every 5 minutes about what they actually want. It's just hiding from accountability. I think really all it is. Just don't want to accept that there's just not good enough. Because I think most of them know if this doesn't work, their jobs are gone. You're starting to see a bit of fear there.
Yeah, and there might be something to that, like coming out and admitting that things are not working, or sorry, not coming out and admitting that things are not working could be seen as a form of self-preservation, when in reality that's everything we need right now.
Yeah, I mean, Luke Powers, I mean, that's that halftime talk. I mean, that's talk about self-preservation. I understand what he's saying, but you got to be honest. It's like it's
I
not good
think,
enough.
look, to be fair to Luke, I mean, it's halftime. My best guess, and this is just a guess, is that like the game's not over, so you can't be down in the dumps halfway through a game. You're at war. It's competition. There's a whole half to fix it, which in retrospect, they played a lot better in the second half than the first, to be fair. But at the same time, why did that first half even happen in the first place? It's not new. Like they've had poor halves, they've had poor quarters this year. All of a sudden, do you remember the narrative before? Was it Teague or was it which coach was it where we weren't starting very well?
I think it was Bolton.
Do you remember the narrative? It's like we never start games well, and we drilled that into him. I think Teague brought it in, and then it was like, oh, we start games well again now. And then the next problem arises, and we focus so much on that. Seems like now we've forgotten about the problem 8 problems ago, which was the starts. We don't get off to a good start to set the game up.
I think I think with Bolton you're talking about that was we used to start really bad, and back then we weren't even good enough to kick goals anyway, so the game was done at quarter time. And then Teague, it was the 5-goal swings. Remember that every week it was the 5-goal swings, or last year, sorry, it was the 5-goal swings as well. And now it's changed into the club's just broken. There's just everything's gone wrong. I think it's more the skills now. I think people are really starting to zone in on the skills, which it's been a long time coming. I mean, it's been too long that the skills haven't been looked at properly.
Yeah, and we're obviously kicking a little bit. We're kicking more than what I think we're kicking more than what we have. We're not a very good kicking team in general.
Yeah, I mean, because I was lucky enough, I could watch on the TV, and they showed the kicking efficiency stat, and the first half, I think it was 55%. I mean, talk about that's just pathetic, really. This is AFL standard. I mean, it's like VFL, like you get 65 or 70. Like Jesus, and it's like the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs weren't great either. They were on like 75 or something, so it's not like they were hitting lasers.
I wasn't very impressed with the Bulldogs. I mean, I respect they won the game. They did well done. I wasn't overly impressed. Like, I mean, last week was was the Lions, like top 4 side, premiership contender. They've been top 4 consistently for the last however many years. I don't put the Dogs in the same category. Like, we heard last week, good teams give you feedback. Are the Dogs a really good team the way the Lions were last week? I don't think so.
Yeah, we make every team look pretty good other than West Coast, really.
Yeah.
Like, they were the only team that we didn't make as good as they probably are. I mean, we make a lot of teams, well, all over for years, we've made teams look a lot better than they are just because they do basic things that we can't stop. And, basic structure that we just fail to some reason fix, it's like we can blame Voss and that, but at the end of the day, like, no one has any idea. Like, at the end of the day, we're just fans, and we could speculate and whatever. But like, I'm just sad that like all the fans are just like, I feel like there's a lot of like there's little groups starting in the Carlton fans just like attacking each other to try to see who's right, and it's like it doesn't matter if you're right. Like, it's about the club getting to where we want it to be. It doesn't matter if you're right, because at the end of the day, that's just your opinion. It's about where Carlton's going to be. I think people just need to realize that we're all hurting. Like, every fan, it's like the Carlton fans, like, even like the ones that like talk crap and say, "Oh, it was right." It's like, they're still not happy with the way the club's going. So I think everyone just needs to kind of stop kind of attacking each other and try to be a bit more concentrated at the people that deserve it.
Mate, didn't expect you to say that, but thank you for saying that because you're fucking spot on.
Not that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well said.
No, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too. And have a good birthday, man.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
See ya. Khader Ibrahim with the 5 says, if our players had the same energy and compassion as Matt always, we would be unstoppable. We'd be be a lot better. All right, there's 3 left. Joseph, Benny, and Toby. Let's go. Joseph.
Kalimera, mate.
Kalimera, mate. The patience
1
of a
a.m.
saint.
What are we doing to ourselves doing this at 1 o'clock in the morning?
2 weeks in a row there. 1 a.m.
You and Rocco, I couldn't agree more. There's no joy. There's no joy. I actually haven't celebrated a comeback for quite a while. There's no belief. And I'm glad you said it, actually, because a lot of people don't have, a lot of people who, a lot of normal supporters, your regular supporters can say it, but for someone of your, you're known within the Carlton community, it's hard for you to say it, but I'm glad that you did, because the hope isn't there. The belief isn't there, is it? I celebrated when Charlie kicked the goal and he got up and about, but I only celebrated because he gets up and about and he G's me up. That's it.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad, man. And again, everyone's saying the same thing. We can say it's a coach, we can say it's a players, but it's all in here. It's all mental. I think that's what it's down to, man. I think it's all mental. I think no one has the belief, no one has the confidence, and that's just translating into horrible skill use, just really bad skill use, like monumentally bad skill use. Some of it, like that. That's the Cripps shot on goal. I laughed when he missed it because I knew he was going to miss it. I was screaming out, laughing. I wasn't at the game. I said, I'm not going tonight. I said, nah, I'm not. I'm not wasting my Saturday night. My missus was out. I had the house to myself. It was me and my dog. We sat down and watched the game. He looked at me. He's like, yeah, it was just misery.
Smart. You're a smart man.
I said it all week. I'm like, I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not going. I thought about it. And then I remembered last week and the false hope that I had that we might get up. I was watching the market. somehow they always getting it wrong at the same time.
Yep.
And I said, nah, I'm staying home. Not going to waste my night. So where to from here? Because it's like we got Collingwood, then we got Sydney, and then Melbourne.
Yeah. Well, call me crazy, but I don't think the season's dead. I think you go through really tough patches throughout the season. I was kind of hoping that our tough patch would be a little bit later in the year. It's now. Is it just going to continue to be like this for the rest of the year? I don't know. I wouldn't have thought so. Footy changes. It's a really weird game. It's a really weird sport. All sports like that. Things can look good one month and diabolical the next. So the season's not dead unless it is, and I'm just delusional, which very high possibility. But I
We're
do
all a bit
think
delusional.
I do think that we can improve off what we're seeing in the last month. I do. And the reason why I believe that is because there are things you can adjust, things that you can change week to week. Oh my God, what am I talking about?
What are you talking
mate?
about?
What
No,
am I
see,
talking
you're
about?
delusional. It's all stop, bro. It's all
Is it
delusion.
dead? So
Stop.
the season's dead. It's round 9, end of round 9. We're dead. We're done. Pack it up.
I'm happy to call it. I am.
What are we going? What are we watching the footy for then? You know what I
I'm
mean?
happy to call it, man. I got Legends Lounge membership. I've got the works. You go in, you go to the rooms, you listen to Adam Sard, you listen to Carlton Legends, whatever it is. The theme I'm taking away from that is they're not watching the games either. They're actually not. And it's just like it's not even, it's from the ground, from the players, and then there's just no belief. And everyone's like delusional. Like, okay, all right, I'll turn it around. We'll see some good training picks this week. Hard, tough football. Let's go team next week.
Mouth guards in the mouth and the photos.
Yeah. There's all that. Yeah, and then they come out, and then of course we got to talk about the membership. The membership benchmark, the new record, which is all bullshit because they're giving away 3-game memberships for free.
Don't forget, there'll be heartstrings pulled on this week.
Yeah,
in some way.
There'll be something. There'll be something for like, you get down because X, Y, and Z. Just to touch on something. My partner and her family are Richmond supporters, and her dad was almost going to be on the board at Richmond. He was the CEO or the chairman at the previous VFL team in Coburg. So he's within the club a lot, right? He's within Richmond a lot. I had the pleasure of being tortured to going to every single round 1 game for the last 8 or 9 years, and to going to the grand final in against GWS. I remember the times then, and I remember now, and looking at that Richmond Football Club and those functions that they had, I'm like, fuck, I wish this was Carlton, man. I wish that was us. Like the level of envy that I had, how envious I was to Richmond and everything that they experienced and everything that they had, even just the functions and everything, you name it, man. I'm like, I wish this was us. And we look like we're at that level, but we are actually miles away. And we have 2 Coleman medalists and a Brownlow medalist. And they didn't have that.
In the prime of their careers.
Yeah. So it's gets said all the time. It's now or never. The time is now. They're in their prime, man. They're in their prime.
Yeah.
And if worst comes to worst, turn them into the Tassie Blues, and I'll go support Geelong. I'll do it. I'll become a Geelong fan, just so I can have a reason not to support them.
Welcome to Tassie abroad.
Tassie abroad, yeah. But we digress, and then next week we'll see what kind of emotion we'll be doing through these fan camps. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't want to look. I mean, I'm not looking far ahead. It's the next game. I fear if what we fear will happen next week against the Pies actually happens in the way that we are fearing it. Yeah,
it's going to be a slaughter.
Well, I fear for that reaction. Yeah.
It's going to be, and I think it's something that needs to happen, because then that's when questions are going to get properly asked. Now, I'm all good for media and whatever media will say this, and it will be under the pump of the media. But then the internal questions are going to start being asked, and then I'm happy to have another review again for an external review. But let's dive a little bit deeper this time, maybe at the end of the season. Do it in the middle of the season. Do what you got to do, right? Because there's something in the foundations of this club that's just not right, man. It's not right.
Yeah.
Not right at all. But if you don't laugh, you cry. So let's just fucking laugh, man.
So
Let's just have a giggle. Alrighty?
No, thanks for coming on, man.
All right. So have a lovely evening. Take care.
See you, man. All right. Benny.
Terry, how are you, bro?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm alright, bro. What do you say? I think everyone's pretty much said everything. It's just a very disappointing game, and played 15 minutes really of that whole game, really, and the transitions is terrible, mate. I don't understand the actual defense to forward line to kicking it to Durden to Jesse Motlop. Tools weren't there. Don't understand. Like, I don't understand how the department's working. No idea. I don't know. Don't know what to say, mate. It's just very frustrating.
Yeah. Very frustrating. I haven't listened to press conferences or anything like that yet, so that'll be interesting. What are they going to say? What new lineage are they going to come out with this week?
I don't know, mate. I don't know what Voss is going to say. He's probably said, we were in it. Obviously, the effort was there, but I didn't see much of it, really. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. What do we do for Collingwood next week, Terry?
Where are you in the... Do you think the season's dead?
I still have hope, but very, very slim. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think it's dead yet, but it's next week away, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's next week away from being done.
Yeah.
Potentially. Yeah. I think so. Because
Yeah.
now this is 4 losses from our last 5 games right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's going to be make or break. I think it's going to be a
Mm-hmm.
big crowd, and yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll just see how it goes, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
have a good night, Terry.
You too, man. Thanks for coming on.
Catch you, bro. See ya.
See you, man. Toby.
Gade says, how are you, Matt?
Good. How are you?
I could be better. I mean, look, as you've asked people, is the season dead? No, I don't think it is. I think there's still belief, but we're just hanging on. It's like we're on a wire and we're just hanging on slowly, and we're just keeping the oil burning, keeping the flame going. But when's it going to go out? I don't want to say this because it's my birthday next Sunday, but I'm worried. I'm worried against Collingwood. I'm really, really starting to go, oh, shit. And I hate losing to them. I hate it. And it just feels bad when we lose to them, because then you've got mates who are Collingwood fans or people that you know, and they go, oh, Carlton, where are you guys? Like, shush, be quiet. We'll put you back in your place. But I don't know, Terry. I don't know, Matt. I'm starting to get a little bit worried every single week. I'm a bit like you. It's like you go to a game or you watch a game and you just feel like, you know, our premiership hopes are slowly going to the way that we don't want it to go. It's Look, Matt. I mean, you've been a passionate supporter, and what do you see for the rest of this year?
In what context? What do you mean?
Like, do you see us getting? All right, I'll ask you a question. Do you see that we can get to where we want to be? Like, can you see us making the 8, or can you see us maybe missing out?
We're 1 week away from me writing it off, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
Adjust-
Jerry, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think adjustments can be made. Might be too. I don't think it'd be too late now, but people have come on tonight and mentioned the line in the sand, and we've got to there's got to be a circuit breaker. So we need that. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if it's a big win. I don't know if it's a tight win next week against Collingwood, for example. I don't know if it's another a bad loss. I don't know. But I'm a competitor, and these guys are competitors, and go back to 2021. Season was written off very early. External review was happening. And even up until round 20, round 21, we still had a hope, because if we had have won those games, we were mathematically still in the hunt. So there's a lot of footy to still be played. But we need to make some changes. Something's got to give. Something's got to give at some point. So I don't think we have seen the best of what this season will provide us. So I don't know if that answers your question, but
I guess it does, Matt, because I think you've got a lot of wisdom, Terry, and I love coming on here. I love having a chat with you, and I love picking your brain on footy, because you've set up this channel, and look how good this channel's become. You deserve everything that you've got, Matt. And I can't thank you enough, because every time I come on, you make me feel welcome. And that, for a bloke who's got an intellectual disability, thank you very much, Matt. Thank you. Because I thought about it during the week, and I had a good week, but I want to pick your brain on something privately, if I can. I'll send you a message, and if you can get back to me privately, Matt, that would be much appreciated. Because I've got to. I went and pitched our idea the other day, and I'm going to be hopefully helping people with disabilities to get what they deserve. Because it's a passion of mine, but I just want to pick your brain of how you've started stuff, and how you've done really well making like a little business out of this, man. Because this is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And Terry, please, whatever happens, whatever, we're here as Carlton supporters, and that's why I'm here, Matt, because I love this channel. I absolutely love everybody on this channel. And, mate, even now I'm getting emotional saying that, because it's how proud I am, Matt.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. And of course, reach out to me. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, wherever. Send me an email. And we can chat about things afterwards for sure. But
cool, man.
Thank you, mate. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for staying awake. It's 1:20 in the morning. I think we might move it on from there. But Toby, see you next Sunday on your birthday. And
yes.
From there.
Hopefully I've got a big smile for 34, Matt. So yeah. Oh, geez, I can't believe I'm turning that old, Matt.
You'll have a smile on your face no matter what.
Exactly, Matt. All right, Matt. Keep up the good work, and I'll chat to you soon.
We'll be in touch. Speak to you soon. Thanks, Toby.
See you, Matt.
Toby, just finishing it off like that. What a legend. Felix, the best blues of my life. Yeah. All right. Fan cams round 9. That'll do it. Another 2 hours and 5 minutes in the bank. 1:21 in the morning. I am not tired in the slightest. Not in the slightest. I spoke a bit about being lost last week. I found a little bit of, I just needed to figure out exactly why you got to figure out why you do something in order to continue to do it. Sometimes you can get led astray, you can get a bit distracted. But yeah, those of you that come on and express yourselves and the way it's really improved over the last few years, I need to latch onto the community as to the why for continuing to do this. Because unfortunately, linking the results of a team who I have no control over on field and the joy for doing this, it's not sustainable, I've realized. So there is a bit of a silver lining to all of this. So thank you everyone that is a part of the channel. If you watch, if you're subscribed, thank you. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, please. But thank you for being here as well. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what this week will hold? But we'll continue to do it. Why? Because we have each other, I think. So, yeah. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there. Hope you have a great day. I'm going to see my mum at 9 a.m. Take her out for brekkie. And yeah, we'll leave it there. Review will be out tomorrow morning. Play ratings, we'll do it tomorrow. You know what the schedule is, and then we gear up for a big week ahead. But yeah, there's a lot of questions and a lot of disappointment, and it all feels all too familiar. So have a good night, everyone. Take it easy. Go Blues.